Hey guys, this is Vishal Dandote, and in this video, we will see what is the module in Angular application and why module is important in the Angular application. So before we start, as you know, in the Angular application, we have at least one module called as root module. So let's discuss why we are using root module or why the main purpose of using the module in Angular application. So, module is a nothing but we can say it is the collection of components, directives, services, or in the other words, we can say it is the collection of code which can reuse into the different files, or we can say different folders. So, but whenever we are talking about the Angular, so it is important to break our application into the we can say different type of chunks. So it means let's talk about one real time project or a real time application whenever we need actually the module concept. So uh, for example, if we have application which is containing admin, the user, and we can also like we can say we have also vendor specification, or we are also using vendor. For example, let's say we have the e-commerce site which have the admin means the owner of that particular site. Then we have vendor means whenever if anyone selling his project sorry product on the our site, that might be like a third party companies or third party specific uh, anyone which has its own product to sell. And another one is called user or customer which will buy those product. These three things we are building or we are using in one application. So whenever we are talking about this type of application, it has three different type of features: admin, user, and vendor. So whenever we are building the application, we are dividing this application into the three parts. So these three parts called as a module. So and we will combine, or we are combining whole the things into the one project that is called main root module, or we can say that is called application. So whenever we have different type of, or whenever we have to make code, or we can say we need to make the separation into the our application for the particular functionality, we can use the module. So we can simply see the definition. So basically, module is a nothing but it is useful to break our application into the small chunk as per the functionality, and we can reuse the code, and we can use that specific dependency or that particular things related code, that particular chunk related code into that particular module. So it means, let's say whenever we are talking about e-commerce website, so we will keep all the user related dependencies, all user related data into the user module or user related code. And whenever we are using admin module, we will keep all the admin related code, its services, component, and all into the admin related module. So basically, module is nothing but for breaking our application into the small chunks or the parts. That time we can use the module can contain components, services, directives, and that particular or we can say that particular thing related features So this is the use of module. And now we need to discuss like why we have root module. So basically, root module means we are combining whole application, or we are combining whole the things. Let's say we have a number of module, and but that module should be injected into the one module. Or finally, let's say we have hundreds of file, but whenever we need to run that application, we need to boot that application. In that case, it is very, we cannot uh, run that different type of files like at one time, right? We need to run that separately, and that time our functionality can be break. So in that case, module can combine all the things like all the files into the one file, and whenever we will run that one file, it will run our all the file and its related dependencies, its related code. So that's why we are using module. So module is important. Root module is important whenever we need to boot our application, or whenever we need to run our application on the browser. So as you know, the Angular has entry point. Angular application has entry point called main.ts file, which is containing browser, or we can say platform browser dynamic module, or the function. And it has one function called bootstrap module. And in this module, or this is the module which is building our project on the browser, or bundling our project on the browser in that case. So whenever we need to boot our application, we are assigning root module for that particular function. As you can see here, app module. And let's see the app module code. So basically, app module is nothing but just a collection of the multiple codes. It may be services, it may be component, it may be directives, it may be different type of classes, whatever we can say, like it's a different type of pipes, whatever we are whatever functionality we are using for that particular uh, chunk. Let's say for that particular module means just chunks of our application. So that is called module. And let's see the module code. So here you can see this is the root module, which is app.module.ts. And whenever we need to create our module, as we are discussing in the every lecture. So we need to pass some metadata to our TypeScript class, and we need to say, or we need to tell Angular or TypeScript that this is not the just TypeScript class, this is the Angular module. And for that, we are using @ng module, which can pass, or which can send the metadata to the TypeScript class. And it has four type of property: declaration, imports, providers, and bootstrap. So declaration, where we are declaring our all the component directives, pipes. So all those things we are registering, or we are importing, we are combining together into the declaration array. And whenever we have the providers, which is means by services, which is means services, in that case we are registering, or we are combining all those services into the providers array. Bootstrap is important whenever we need to bootstrap specific component, and here we can also bootstrap multiple components. So bootstrap is nothing but whenever we need to combine multiple components. So in that case, we can use bootstrap. So imports, this what is the imports? So basically, module can contain another module. So as we are using root module here, so module is nothing but part of application, right? So whenever we have multiple part of application and we need to combine that, we can simply import those module into the root module. Okay, so one module can be imported into the another module as a dependency, using the with the help of import statement, and that should be registered into the imports array. So, and we also have the Angular predefined modules, like as maybe browser module, common module, forms module, router module. There are a number of modules. Okay, so here we are registering our browser module. So whenever we have to use the functionality which is provided by Angular, and that is into the particular module. In that case, what do we need to do? We need to import that module into the Angular root module, and we can simply use that because it is important whenever we are bootstrapping our application. So finally, bootstrap or finally our code will run from here, from our root module. So Angular will try to find out that code or that functionality which we are using in our component, that should, if that is containing in one specific module, so that module should be important here. So Angular will check into the imports array. So this is the main purpose of Angular module. So now let's create one module with the with the help of we can say CLI. We can create it using the CLI as we discussed in the last lecture. So uh, what are the commands to create the module, the component, and the services? If you are not aware with that, you can simply go to the CLI introductory video or the Angular CLI video, and you can see those commands and try to use that command. But for this lecture, I'm going to create that code or that module manually, so it will help you to understand the or it will help you to learn the module code or understand the module code, and it will be better for the learning purpose if you create the module, uh, we can say manually. So let's create one module. So whenever we need to create the module, we need to import the @ng module. Before that, let's create our um, one file. So here I can say child. We can say we can give any name. So here I can simply say for example user dot module dot ts. So we should follow the same naming standard which is provided by Angular. So here basically whenever we are creating the module, we should use the dot module into the file naming convention. After that, once we have that file, we can simply create import our uh, in the module from the Angular core library. So whatever core functionality we are using in the Angular, we can import that from the Angular core. For example, if you are using pipes, if we are if we need to create the directives, if we need to create the components, in that case, so simply let's import our ng module, and here you can see we have imported our ng module. After that, what we need to do? We need to create the class, and whenever we need to import that or whenever we need to use that class into the different type of module or different type of files, we need to export that class from here. So I can simply say export, and then user module, I can use my class name user module, and here I will simply say sorry. So class should be declared with the help of class keyword, and this is my class. Once my class is ready, I can simply pass the metadata to it. So using the ng module, as we have imported ng module, we can simply use the decorator, which is nothing but the symbol and ng module. And in this module, we can simply create one object which is containing different type of properties called imports. So For example, let's say this is the user module, and for this user, I'm using maybe we can say, let's say, different type of services, or for the user I am using the authentication. So, and also for example, like I'm using let's say different type of we can say like different type of components, different type of services, different type of predefined modules, like as a material design module or other modules. So all those predefined module, or our as a developer, if we have created module, those module we will import in this array. Okay, after that what we will do, we will we can have another property called declarations. So whenever we are talking about the user module, so if user application, or that user app, like it is the part of application, right? So whenever we have that user functionality, if it has components, we can simply register those components here. And after that we have providers. So, if we are using services for that particular module, for example, if we are using service for just for user module, what we will do? We will import that service into the this provider's array, or this specific module. Okay. After that, we have the bootstrap. So, whenever if we need to bootstrap our specific module, or like we need to bootstrap this user module, we can simply use, like we can simply uh, bootstrap user modules component or user related component in this bootstrap array. In this way we can create our module with the help of add the rate ng module. And whenever we need to export something from this module, let's say module can share the code between them, right? So whenever we are sharing something to different module, we need to export that from here. So you can see we have exports, and you can export like it may be module, it may be component, or whatever, like mostly, but from here we can mostly export the modules. Okay, so basically whatever module you need to export, you can export from here. After that, whenever we need to use this module, or whenever we need to bootstrap this module with the help of our root module, we need to import this module as a dependency, or as a um, module into the our app.module.ts file, into the imports array, because this is the module. Whenever we are talking about the module, we need to import that into the imports, because it can contain a number of component, a number of services, a number of directives. Okay, so let's import this module into the app.module.ts file. So here I will simply say import, and from dot slash, and I can simply say user dot module. We can simply your class name, and you can see after the browser module I can simply put my user modules name here. Like this you can simply create your module with the help of Angular. And we have created this module as manually. You can simply do that using the ng command as well. So for that you can simply run ng generate module and your module name. So Angular CLI will create module for you. So it will set up this kind of code by default. So I hope you understand what is the module and why we are using the module in the Angular application. If you have any queries or questions, you can put the comment in the video, and I will answer your question in the next video. Thank you so much guys for watching. If you like my video, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you will get the new videos notification. See you guys in the next video. Thank you.